What's up, guys? So today I'm just kind of cleaning up some knives here. I'm actually trying two newer products. All right, Wicked Wax and Wicked Clean. The Wicked Clean is really interesting. So Wicked Wax says works on steel, wood, leather, and epoxy, 100% food safe, all organic ingredients. All right, and this is from, well, you can see right there, manufactured by Piet Forge. All right, now this is just obviously a protectant wax. This one actually has a fine abrasive in it, and I haven't used this before. Very curious to see how this is going to clean up these two particular knives. It says Wicked Clean is a beeswax based cleaner and polish. It can also be used with a clean rag or 4/0 steel wool to remove etching and medium to light debris. The mild abrasive will not scratch most surfaces, works with Damascus and other hardened steels. The same thing, made by Wicked Industries. So I have two knives here. This is a CRKT. I just got both of these from the same person. They sent a bunch of really cool kind of random stuff. This is the Piet or Piet. These actually are on sale for I think 19 bucks at BladeHQ. Just a little old, you know, budget CRKT. I actually like the design a lot. This one, it feels like extra comfortable. There's no pocket clip on there. And almost any knife that has a pocket clip is even more comfortable without the pocket clip. So when I first opened this, I'm like, wow, that's great ergos. And like I literally went to clip to my pocket and went, oh, there's no clip on it. But anyway, this is just in 8CR13 MOV, right? But if you could see, there is some light surface rust going on there. All right, so I'm gonna see if this Wicked Clean will take that off, right? It's on both sides. Now, as far as the Spyderco, this is a fully serrated police model. Fantastic knife. Unfortunately, this one had the pocket clip broken off. So you see the two screws that were sheared off. And really, I just want to kind of wipe the handles down with this to see if there's a bunch of crud and maybe some light surface rust around where the pocket clip used to be. All right, so I'm just curious how that's going to clean that up. So we're going to jump right in and try this stuff out. All right, so I'll try the clean first. All right, and afterwards I'll throw some wax on the CRKT. All right, so just get a little bit on our little rag here. It has kind of a light gray coloration. All right, we'll zoom in. So like something like this, I'd probably hit with some flits. I'd probably use the rust eraser. It's one of my big go-tos for stuff like this, but the rust eraser will semi-polish areas. All right, so depending on the finish, certain satin finishes, you know, you can kind of see where I rubbed harder than other places. So for user knives, I don't really care, but anything expensive, you might want to consider, you know, the possibility of that. So I'm just going to rub this down. All right, both sides. And same deal, this has kind of a wax consistency. And but like I said, I'm curious how fine. It might be like seriously fine abrasive, so that it's not really going to do much for this, you know, surface rust. A couple of these dots, we'll see. Let's get a clean part of our rag. And just kind of really rub that in. And yeah, this might need a little bit more. As it suggests, some 4/0 steel wool might do the trick. All right, so you don't know till you know. So let's go ahead and try this Spyderco here. Just try wiping that with the clean rag first. And we'll get a little bit of the Wicked Clean. Just kind of scrub this area. Again, this is something, like I said, I would normally use the rust eraser for. The rust eraser is pretty aggressive. This is something that's saying it's, you know, more than likely not going to scratch your blade, so I would have to assume the abrasive in here is super fine. Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, physically rubbing it, it is taking off some of the dirt and grime that's there, but I don't think it's the product itself. So, all right. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go grab the rust eraser. All right, and then afterwards I'll put a little of the Wicked Wax on the CRKT, which I'm going to carry and use. All right, so there's one of them. I keep probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 of these things. I use these all the time for just such an occasion. So let's see the before and after here. Rust eraser. All right. This is just a rubber abrasive. And it's going to be a little bit more aggressive. All right. Now, something if I want, you know, a fine polish, I do like Flitz. Flitz regular metal polish works wonderfully for knives. All right, so it's mostly gone, but not fully. So we'll still work on it a little bit here. Again, I'm not sure how much of that was dirt and crud compared to rust, you know. You can remove surface rust, but then you have some pitting or, you know, staining on metal. So it looks like, oh man, it's not gone, but really there's nothing you do. It's eating away at the metal at that point. It's only, you know, when you first get it, when you can kind of rub it off completely. All right, so you can see this semi-polished this up here a little bit. You can still see some of those marks, but those marks there almost seem like scratches or scrapes. So that's definitely not rust. So the rust eraser removed pretty much all the debris that was on top there. All right, let's try that rust eraser on our CRKT. All right, we'll do the before and after. So before. All right. And I'm using light pressure here, by the way. I'm not trying to, you know, rub through the blade. Just some light pressure. You do not need much for this. Like I said, it is pretty aggressive. I don't know the equivalent in like sandpaper grit or anything, but seems to have done a fantastic job there. Look at that, right? What a difference. All right, to the other side. Do it before. And again, these light little spots here and there. Some of it could be rust, some of it could be, you know, food, if it was used for food prep, or just, like I said, crud, you know, pocket dirt, lint, whatever. You're cutting something, gets on the blade, stays there, you shut your knife, it sits there for a week or a year, who knows. You know, our knives get dirty. If you're using them, they're bound to get stuff on them. Like I said, these rust erasers work great. Now this one specifically was a Lansky brand. I got a bunch at once. I remember testing it many a moons ago and thinking, wow, this is awesome. And I literally bought 6 or 7 or maybe even more at the time. And I'm using the same ones years later. All right, a little at the big base here. Looks almost done. Just one last little speck there. See if I can get that off or if that's a stain. Nope, came off. All right. Here's the back ends. And I'll go back and I'll sharpen these as well. I'm testing some different sharpening systems. So it's a great time to clean up knives. So pretty cool. So now I'm going to put a little bit of this Wicked Wax on there. We'll try that out. See what this is all about. And it's good to protect your knives, you know, especially if you're a viewer from the coast. You know, that sea air is just ridiculous on everything. Your vehicles, your knives, your guns, whatever you have that's metal that rusts. You know, that salty air and humidity. If you live in very humid parts of the country, you know, or all around the world, the humidity is a killer. So some of you have to protect your knives a lot more than others. All right, it really, a little goes a long way. I kind of barely rubbed that, and even that was a little bit much for this little blade here. So we'll go ahead and put it on the Spyderco as well, just because, man, I love that. I don't like serrations. I should be very specific. I don't like partially serrated blades that much. A fully serrated blade with purposeful serrations that work, like this, is awesome. Plus, it's super aggressive looking. So, I don't know, it's just kind of extra cool. All right, let's get a clean spot on a rag. And wipe that in, get the excess off. And we'll finish off our CRKT here. Make sure we get out of the opening hole there. You go to, flick it open, your thumb slides all over the place because it's a little greasy. All right, let's wipe that down. Wipe the other side there. And we are golden. All right, so there's a close-up shot. Now you can see some of these lines, like if I run my finger on here, those striation patterns are actually like fine scratches from the rust eraser. All right, this is a user knife in this light right there. Can't really tell. In this light, you can tell. It's literally, it's an abrasive, so it's scratched the blade here. So I wouldn't just willy-nilly, grab your $400 or $500 knives and just start rubbing them down with your rust eraser. Be careful of that, especially with higher polish finishes and stuff. You're really going to notice it. But if you have little specks here and there, it's for me, it's better than nothing. I don't mind having a couple scratches on my blade and a little spot of rust. But I did want to make that note. It is an aggressive, abrasive. So these are literally scratches from there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So pretty cool. I'll have to keep using the Wicked Wax and the Wicked Clean. So we know the abrasive that's in here is so fine that it's not really getting off that surface rust type stuff. So I'll have to see what a good application would be for that specifically. Overall, I do like, anything that's going to maintain your knives is good, but stuff like this I would heavily focus on for longer term storage. Let's say you get a knife, you like it, carry a little bit, put it back in the box, maybe you want to store it for a couple weeks, couple months, couple years, whatever. That's when you're going to want to oil them down, maybe use these wax protectants so that when they're sitting in storage, the humidity and moisture that's kind of wherever you're storing them, it can help with that, so that you're not going to, break out a knife that you've had in a drawer or a closet for, a year and then find it's completely rusted. That is absolutely horrifying. I've been there when I was younger. It's not a good feeling. So just like anything else you want to protect, you have to be mindful, in maintenance and specifically for long-term storage, unless again, you live in a very humid climate or you live on the coast where, rust is a bigger issue. I'm in northeastern Pennsylvania. We do have some humid. Lately this summer has been crazy humid. I've been dealing with some different mildew problems around the house and stuff which I've never seen before. And that is from the consistent high humidity, but that's not normal for this area. So I don't have to worry about, extreme heat or extreme cold. We have a pretty, stable temperature, in this area through the seasons. But yeah, so as far as knife storage goes, it's not a huge deal in my area, but I know some places in the country and around the world, it's very much something you have to focus on to protect your knives. So anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day. If you have a favorite cleaning product or maintenance type product for your knives, post it down below. Like I've said before, I've used everything under the sun before. Most of it works. It's kind of like a diet. They all work if you stick with it, but if you only use it a few times and then forget you have it, then all of a sudden, it's not serving a purpose anymore, and your knives can start having problems. But anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.